Welcome to Strategic Faultline, where conflict, power and strategic geography come into focus. Today, we examine why new White House Ballroom has become more than a ceremonial building. It is a case study in how drones, underground infrastructure, and continuity of government are changing the architecture of power. The White House has always been both a symbol and a target. It is a residence, an office, a stage for diplomacy, and one of the most protected political sites anywhere. But the latest construction on the former East Wing side has turned a ceremonial project into something more strategic. On the surface, the project is a ballroom. President Donald Trump has described it as a large new space for state dinners, foreign leaders, and major national events, with room for roughly 1,000 guests. He has also described the ballroom as privately funded, with a cost close to $400 million, but during a public tour of the construction site in May 2026, Trump emphasized the security side of the project even more than the ceremonial side. The roof, he said, is not an oil roof. It is flat, hardened, and built with military use in mind. He described it as drone-proof, and also as a drone port. In his words, the roof would be set up for large numbers of drones, with the purpose of helping protect Washington. That detail changes the story. A ballroom is usually a soft space, built for ceremony, visibility, and prestige. But this project is being described as a reinforced shell, with steel, hardened glass, secure air systems, and a roof connected to military activity above and infrastructure below. The former East Wing was not just office space. Beneath, at part of the White House, was the older Presidential Emergency Operations Center, the secure facility associated with continuity of government, and remembered publicly from the September 11th attacks. In a national emergency, the question is how command, communications, protection, medical support, and decision-making continue under pressure. Trump has said the area below the ballroom extends deep underground, with multiple levels already visible at the construction site. He has described military medical space, research facilities, secure meeting areas, and a design in which the roof, ground floor, and underground spaces are tied together as one building. Some of those details come directly from Trump. Other details remain unclear because the White House and security agencies have not publicly explained the classified or sensitive parts of the project. That distinction matters. The confirmed public fact is not that every technical claim has been independently verified. The confirmed public fact is that the President himself is framing the project as a hardened security complex, not just as a venue for official dinners. This is the first layer of the story. A ceremonial ballroom is becoming protective architecture, built around the same problem that now faces every fixed seat of government: how to defend a visible political symbol in the age of drones. If you are finding this report useful so far, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support Strategic Faultline. The second layer is the drone problem. For most of modern history, the White House security challenge was built around ground threats: crowds, vehicles, firearms, aircraft, and missiles. Those threats still exist. But small drones have changed the geometry of protection. They are cheap, mobile, hard to detect at low altitude, and able to approach from angles that older security systems were not designed around. A drone does not need to destroy a building to create a crisis. It can carry explosives, sensors, chemical payloads, or simply force a shutdown of the security perimeter. That is why a hardened roof matters. If the roof is also a platform for defensive drones, sensors, and counter-drone systems, then the building becomes part of an active defense network. It is no longer only absorbing risk. It is helping project surveillance and interception across the surrounding area. The exact systems are not public. A responsible analysis should not invent them. But the logic is clear enough that the roof could support observation, drone launch and recovery, communications equipment, counter-drone teams, or systems moved up from protected storage below, military bases, airports, energy facilities, and government compounds are all adapting to drones. What is unusual here is the location of the most politically symbolic building in the United States. Then there is the underground layer. An underground complex under the White House does not automatically mean protection against every possible attack. A direct nuclear attack is a different category of problem, and continuity protocols would still depend on evacuation, dispersed command, and other hardened facilities, but for many other scenarios, underground infrastructure can protect communications, shelter staff, isolate air systems, support medical response, and connect secure rooms, logistics, elevators, equipment, and command functions without exposing them to the surface. In that sense, the ballroom is not the main story. The ballroom is the visible part of a deeper security architecture. That is also why the funding dispute matters. Reuters reported that Senate Republicans said a $1 billion request tied to the ballroom and related security measures was being removed from a larger spending bill. The same reporting noted that Trump had originally said the ballroom itself would not require federal funding, while lawmakers later debated public money for security, enhancements and Secret Service-related projects. That creates a political split. Supporters can argue that the White House must adapt to new threats. Critics can argue that the project is too large, too expensive, too political, and too damaging to the historic East Wing. Both points can be true at the same time. A modern seat of government needs hardened infrastructure. But the way that infrastructure is built, funded, explained, and reviewed affects public trust. The more a security project is wrapped inside a ceremonial building, the more the public will ask what is actually being built, who is paying for it, and what oversight exists. The strategic conclusion is simple. This is not just a story about Trump building a ballroom. It is a story about how power protects itself when threats move faster, lower, and closer than before. The old White House was built for an age of walls, gates, guards, and distance. The new problem is an age of drones, sensors, underground networks, and constant exposure. A ballroom may be the public name, but the strategic reality is a fortress of ceremony above, drones on the roof, and continuity infrastructure below. If this report helped clarify the issue, leave a comment with your view, and if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to Strategic Faultline so you do not miss the next analysis.